Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers, the war of Armageddon, the lull before the storm. Brothers and sisters, we've been talking about this for quite some time. Some of you, a year or so. I've been talking about this for over 30 years. So now we're coming to the main scene, the main attraction, if you will. This is what I've been warning about and talking about, the war. The war that would ignite what they call Armageddon. Those of you who have been paying attention, most of what we've been talking about and that you've been seeing over the short period of time that you've been involved is just to give you assurance, just to firm up your understanding of the angel and your confidence in it. Because we're based on facts here. So your experience, you can see that the angel has been correct step by step by step. So therefore you have confidence in this light because it's going to be very dark. Like if you go and if you know you're going to be in a very deep, dark situation, you have a flashlight, you want to test that flashlight and make sure it works. So all the information leading up to now, and those of you who have been able to check my 30-year history, know that all information is to show, is to assure you, to give you confidence that this light is the light. That this light is the light. Because you say, oh, this happened, that happened, that happened. Because the things that we're talking about in the future, they haven't happened yet. And you don't know if they will happen. Who knows whether it happened or not. We have the angel tell us that these will happen. So we have to have confidence that the angel is correct. See? Yeah, all these people that with their beliefs, well, first of all, they have no idea what's going to happen anyway, so it really doesn't make any difference. Because they don't even have a flashlight. Because, I mean, if they don't, if you don't know that it's going to be dark, then what you need a flashlight for? They're going to realize they're going to need a flashlight in a minute. And they're going to realize when they reach for one, there's not one, and they won't have one. See, just like Farrakhan, his people. See, they should have saw COVID-19 coming. They didn't even see it coming, so they didn't know they needed a flashlight. So then when they came, they looked around for a flashlight to find what's going on, and there wasn't one. There wasn't one. See, because they're following a blind person who can't see itself. And that's the problem with blind. See, if you're blind and your leader's blind, how do you know your leader's blind? Because you can't see him unless he's tapping around with his stick and you hear him tapping, trying to figure his way around, trying to figure his way across the street. See, if he got a cane, he's tapping, then you listen, oh, he's tapping. Why he's tapping if he can see? See? But if he muffle the tapping, like, put some rubber on the end so you can't hear it, you don't know if he's blind or not. Only time you're going to find he's blind when that car hit your ass. Then you know he's blind. Then it's too late. Because that's what's happening to these people, his people. COVID-19 knocked the hell out of a lot of them. And they say, oh, wait a minute, hold on, how come he didn't see this? Then he's got to tell lies. Oh, I saw it. See? We're going 1555. We're going to start from there. See, so he's got to distort the whole issue. The car hit me. Well, I saw that car coming. See? I warned you. You just didn't hear me. You need to get your ears checked out. You see? That's the story he's telling you. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about a few things. But right now, the main thing we need to talk about is the lull before the storm, because the storm is getting ready to take place. The lull is nearly over. It's virtually over. When this storm comes in, brothers and sisters, you better be ready for it. 100% ready. 100% ready. Because those that are not 100% ready, they might have some issues. Because you don't want to be, like I said, pray that you are able, you understand, to escape these things that's not going to occur. It says, pray that you'll be able to escape these things that's going to occur. Because you don't want to be in the middle of this. And when they say tribulation, the great tribulation, they mean it. A lot of people are going to that tribulation, and it will not be fun. That's why they pray. Elijah Muhammad even said, he says, do not pray for this day, because you do not know what you're up against. A brother asked him during the theology of time. He said, oh, dear Holy Apostle, man, I can't wait till that day, man. So we can go. I can't wait that day. And he said, man, oh, that day, dear Holy Apostle goes, man, I'll be glad when that day comes. He said, no, brother, don't pray for that day, because you do not know what you're up against. See, that kiss cat goes to lie to all these scriptees and time makers, because if Mr. Black Man, when he made that statement, the best of Black Man was already written, it was already published. How to Live was already published. Our Savior Has Arrived already published. The Fall of America is already published. All those things already published. And Elijah was near the end of his 40-year reign, 40-year service. So why would he make a statement like, you do not know what you're up against? Because if you got all this information, you should know, right? Because he didn't tell you. He didn't tell you. Now, whether he knew or not, that's a whole different issue. But he didn't tell you, because it wouldn't have been those documents unless he would say, well, brother, you only way you're gonna know, you better study. I explained to you. He said, no, you do not know what you're up against. That means you would not know unless somebody tells you. And he didn't. Because they don't know. They didn't see COVID-19 coming. They should have. If they was even studying anything, Elijah Muhammad said they should have caught COVID-19, because they followed Exodus. But see, they were listening to Farrakhan. Don't pay attention to Exodus. If they had paid attention to Exodus, they would have caught COVID-19. They've been ready for it. If they had paid attention to Exodus, they would not have been caught flat-footed on COVID-19. It's easy read. But he already tricked them and fooled them, so therefore they didn't even see it. Because he told them, don't pay attention to Exodus. Don't pay attention to Aaron. See, who comes after Elijah to see that? See, his deceit was already working. Because if they had listened to Elijah Muhammad, was listening to him, they would have caught COVID-19. See, and all these people claiming they were Elijah Muhammad, they didn't get it because they're not really Elijah Muhammad. Because they would have been right behind AL-INJIL if they were. They were out there just saying what they need to say, right? Because they don't believe in Elijah Muhammad's teaching either. They're trying to be the big man. See, they're just trying to see if they can be the next big man, and that's why they don't jump on AL-INJIL, because they won't be the big man. See, they don't want to do that. That's why. So they want to be the big man, but they're little men. They're weak-minded, and they're liars. That's why they ain't jumping on AL-INJIL, because that's clear. If they read Exodus, it's clear, right? If they read Malachi, it's clear. They can't get around it. Malachi tells you there's a messenger of the covenant coming behind Elijah. It says it right there very clearly. It says coming to his temple. Exodus tell you very clearly that Aaron would come after Elijah Muhammad's spokesman, right? Aaron would come to see the people, and then Joshua would come. He would be the breaker of the seals. It says in AL-INJIL also, right? The breaker of the seals. It's clear, brothers and sisters. So don't argue with these people. Don't get upset about them. Because they gone, when this storm hits, it's going to blow their ass away. But we got to worry about our people, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Those ones we concerned with, because they're in trouble. Our people are in a lot of trouble. You see this right here? This is the world that's coming in with a blast. This world the angels are bringing in. See? It's renewal of our creation, which will be taken to new heights. First, we have to renew it. We have to refresh it, because they have corrupted it. So we have to get rid of them and renew it. Take us back to our biological creation, back to the source, right? To the base. clean it up, clean up the whole planet. See, they haven't had a chance to pollute the universe. They can't get out there. They're trying to pollute the moon, pollute Mars, right? So we just have to clean up the earth. See, they've polluted it. So first, I had to get rid of them. As the Quran says, earth had to get rid of his burden. The first thing we have to do. This is what we're bringing in. See, we have to put our women back up because they've cast the women down. They've cast the women down. We have to put our women back up. That's where she belongs, supposed to be, the mother of civilization, the mother of creation, if you will, the very definition of beauty. See, she is our word for beauty. She's a definition. All beauty is relative to her. That's how our beauty standard. She's the standard. See, and there's nothing more beautiful than her. You see, she's mathematics expression of beauty. You can't get any more profound than that. See, so we put her back where she's supposed to be because it's our duty. She's our mother, our sister. Importantly, she's our mother. Without her, we would not exist. See. Oh yeah, we came from our father, but without her. See, she's Mother Earth. As Earth is our womb, right? She's the womb. See, just as significant. So we have to renew the creation. See, this is what they're trying to stop. It's already in motion. See, it's taking them down right now. They've been taken down right now. Everything is going against them. Everything is going against them. They've been taken down right now. See, our biological creation is taking them down. See, they try to destroy it, but what do you think this COVID-19 is? A biological. See, it's like your body has antibodies. Something comes in that's wrong and it takes it out. Brother and sister, if you really understand what's going on, nature's going, our biological creation is going against them because they're alien. Is attacking them. You see what I'm saying? Don't understand? Don't you understand, brothers and sisters? See, they've been attacked by our biological. They're attacking us with their mechanical, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But our biological creation is attacking them, and it's not attacking us. See, because they was able to hide, but not recognize. See, antibodies recognize the healthy cells, and be able to distinguish them from the cancerous cells, and it goes after the cancerous cells. Bro, it's so beautiful. See, I can't make it too plain because, I mean, but we're getting there. I'm making it plainer every day. See? The coronavirus is attacking them. It's an antibody, getting rid of the cancers. See? Them and the demons. See, the demons, they were trying, but hey, it recognized the demons too. It's taking them out too. That's why you got the chief demon wearing a mask, because he knows it's coming to get him too. See, the Christians going against them. See, not only that, but pressure. It's all about pressure, right? See, it says things that reproduce creates pressure because it means expanding, right? If you're in an elevator and say, for instance, you keep duplicating yourself, right? And it's crap, man. You're going to push pressure on everybody in the elevator. You're going to crush everybody. So this virus is replicating faster than anything they've ever seen before. That's the power of it. That's why they can't keep up with it. See, not only that, but then the atmosphere is pressure, isn't it? And the weather's pressuring against them. Our whole creation is fighting back. It's fighting back, right? It's doing our will, not theirs. It's fighting back. They had 50,000 years, right? Reign, and now our with, like I said with the movie, the Force, the Empire strike back, man, strike it back. And it comes from I tried to explain to you last year. I said it'll come, no matter how pressure will come in any kind of, no matter how they try to prevent it, it will, if they try to take, it comes in any form, it'll penetrate any any defense. That's what I was trying to say. It penetrate it penetrate any defense. You know, it's like I was saying, if you take and put a screen around, right, and say a screen has holes as big as golf balls, I mean holes as bowling balls, okay, then the pressure will come in as as a football, and then you know find the screen right, then it comes in as a baseball. You find a screen, it comes as a golf ball. Find a screen right, it comes in as a marble. It's, you know, so you get it real, and you get the screen so fine, they just come and find something smaller. So now it came as a virus because they had all this. You know, I can protect from nuclear power. I can protect from nuclear bombs. I can protect from cruise bombs. I can protect from this. I can protect from that. Right? I can protect from chemical weapons. So it came in a form. Right? You can't stop it. See? Because it's already killed as many people as nuclear bomb would kill, wouldn't it? So they're trying to stop it, nuclear bombs, but it still came in a way. It still kills just as many people, and it's still going. Our creation is, we control the creation. It tells you that God controls the creation. See? So Suleiman's is handling on one level, and Farad's handling on another level. See? Brothers and sisters, it's once you wake up and you really start to understand, you see how beautiful it is. See, they're under attack in every kind of way. But we under attack too. They're fighting back. They're fighting back. We're going to talk about that in a minute. See here? We got Dr. Shabazz versus Dr. Yaqub. Now what's going on here? As I explained, and I know you never heard it before from anyone else, because they didn't know. They didn't make a distinction between the sealed Bible and unsealed Bible. But they went from, oh, the Bible is just corrupt. So they said the sealed Bible was corrupt, because it seemed like be out of sync with the Quran and everything else. Or just for, like in Farrakhan's case, right, he's trying to cover up the fact he's Aaron. But it's not corrupt. I mean, there's bad translations, right? But it's not corrupt. That's the book. If they understood the Quran, they would know it's not corrupt, because that's the book that was given, because it's calling the people of the book. But it says that they were ruled by making mischief and shed blood. But if a book was given them, and as they're ruled by mischief and shed blood, that means the book would take and be based on that idea of if that's their guidance, if that's how they're going to rule, that book will give them the wisdom to rule that way. Think about it. If they was to rule, it says, I'm going to make this, they're going to rule, but they're going to make mischief and shed blood. So if if I tell you you're the manager, I got to give you the guidance to be the manager. You got to have, you got to have with your guidance and everything, your rules and everything to do the job, right? The parameters and everything. So if I'm going to tell you you're going to rule and you're going to make mischief shed blood, I got to give you the guidance to make the rule by making mix and shed blood. I mean, is that complicated? Is that complicated? So that means the sealed Bible, right, will give them, right, the knowledge and the understanding, the wisdom and the parameters, right, and the guidance, right, to rule by making mischief and shed blood. So everything is said here, it says it came from God. So well, God wrote this. Yeah, it says it right in there, but it says it's sealed. Because that's God want them that he said God made them. Say if God said God made the devil, why is he gonna make a devil and then tell him and tell him to be other than the devil? He made devil so he give him the wisdom to be the devil that he made him to be. And so that's the sealed Bible. That's the guy to be the devil. He's supposed, otherwise, what you're gonna make a devil and you don't want him to be a devil? What's the point of that? It don't make any sense. Because he's fire. He's fire. He's fire to us. He was just like fire. You take fire for fire has a purpose. I mean, you can use it for good or evil, right? So the whole point is to be, like I said, we've been made we was tested or create in a fiery furnace. So that's how you purify things. So they the fire or purify us to make us towards a new creation. I'm not going into details about that, but that's what the Bible is for. The sealed Bible. All that stuff in there is all about making shed blood, killing people, enslaving people, abusing women, all 9 yards. That's in there. That was their guidance for 6,000 years. If they told him, here it is, I'm going to make this man make shed blood, and then teach him all this stuff, teach him all the angels' names, then I'm not going to give him the guidance to do what I made him to do. Does that make any sense? That's what I made him. He's going to make, he didn't make himself, so he's making him make mischief shed blood. So we got to give him the guidance so he can rule making mischief shed blood. And that's the sealed Bible. Come on, brothers and sisters. See, you didn't get that from them because they didn't know it. See? Elijah Muhammad had a problem with the sealed Bible because he threw it on the ground. He didn't like it. I understood. See? But he didn't know anything about the unsealed. See? He thought it was a new book. He said, Master Robin told him about this new book. It was a little book. So he couldn't read it. See? So that's what you have here. See? That's what you have here. The sealed Bible and the unsealed Bible. Unsealed Bible will not come until the end, when it's time to blow away the sealed Bible. But they would rule for 6,000 years. 6,000 years, one would come who was wiser than Dr. Yaqub. He would blow away. But he'd have to ignite what? The unsealed Bible. Because that's what it talks about. Unsealed Bible. Daniel and Revelation said they're both sealed. But they would be the ones that says, and this book, this gospel, the angel, will be taught in all the world, then it will come. That'd be the last thing to be taught, not the Quran. It says the gospel, which is an Arabic word. Angel is an Arabic word for gospel. That's what's happening here, brothers and sisters. So you have the world, right, that's under the power of the sealed Bible. And these preachers, they're teaching from the sealed Bible because they're demons and they're part of Yaqub's creation. They look like us, walk like us, talk like us, but they're demons. And they're teaching from the sealed Bible. And so therefore, they join themselves are people, right, that's on that wavelength, who are demons like themselves. Because you have to be on the same wavelength to go along with that. You see? Well, we're going to talk, there's some nuance there. But that's what they're teaching. And they say, well, we're teaching God's word. Yes, you are. See? But it's out of time now. See? We have met, Abraham had a book. All those people before had, what those books at? They're out of time now. They're no good anymore. Just like the angel would be no good anymore once we get in the hereafter. It wouldn't be no good. It wouldn't be worthless. Why we need the angel telling us about dragging when they're not going to be around anymore? The Quran right now, the Quran, the whole purpose of the Quran was recital, like a mercy for us to recite. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, right? But the Quran has lost its power as far as ruling. So these students can run all they want to. They're never going to bring Muhammad's empire back. It's never going to happen. Because angels going to blow away all of this and going to establish the new reality. See, it was the sealed Bible, the mathematical sealed Bible. See, the thing is, the sealed Bible, when it came, was like raw material. It had to be refined. See, so the raw material, it blew away the Roman Empire. It blew away all that. The Greek Empire blew away all of that. See, but then the Quran came along and blew away that. At least it didn't blow it totally away. It just knocked it on his ass. That's the whole story about Dajjal, right? They took and sealed him up. See, and they said, but they will be released at the end, sealed Gog and Magog. See, so it gave time to like percolate to mature. So once it matured, sealed Bible, it knocked out Quran because it was more powerful. It tells you in Genesis that it was a greater light. The sealed Bible itself said the Quran was a lesser light. And that was given to the original people. It said, but to Adam, he was given a greater light. That's a sealed Bible. And it was more powerful than the Quran, the sealed Bible itself. Because look, who's ruling now? Is the Quran ruling or is sealed Bible ruling? I mean, just open your eyes. Which one is ruling around? Which one's kicking everybody's ass? Who is in control of the planet right now? The Quran was in control for 1,000 years. But who's in control now? So that tells you what thought process is more powerful. The one that's ruling. And they're ruling with mathematics. They combine mathematics with this, and now they're ruling with it. The Quran, they're not. The Sunnis there's no mathematics in what they call it. The Quran is mathematical, but they don't understand the mathematics of the Quran. That's why they're getting their ass kicked. Because there's no mathematics in Sunnism. It's all about belief. There's no mathematics. If you go and talk logic and reason and mathematics, they would snap your head off. Because if you don't say exactly like the prophet said, boom, you dead. It's all dogma. See? So when they matured the sealed Bible and combined it with mathematics, that's how they rule in the world. That's how they rule in the world right now. Not the Quran. They knocked the Quran out 500 years ago. See? So now it's that. And now they're ruling with the sealed Bible. But now the sealed Bible is under attack. It's going down. Because the wisdom is no longer in 500-year reign, but now it's running out. That's what we talk about chapter 20 of the AL-INJIL. So understand that. So there's nothing wrong with the sealed Bible and the unsealed Bible. It came from God, but it had a certain purpose. It had a certain purpose. The only thing wrong with it is time is on. It's like the Quran. Its time has passed. The Quran is useful now for reciting. And I've been teaching you how to use it for that purpose. But in hereafter, we don't need it. We need it now. We're walking a tightrope. Understand, brothers and sisters. So I put out here about how a thermonuclear bomb works. If you can follow that, there's two bombs. It's a fission bomb. That's power, because the fusion bomb takes a lot of power to ignite it. Because you need a lot of pressure, super pressure, the pressure that you find within in center of stars. The only way you can get that kind is you have to ignite an atomic bomb, a fission bomb, outside around it. And it puts so much pressure on it that now it's enough to ignite to explode, which is more powerful than the bomb that ignited. And that's the technology behind the Bible. Because we had the outer Bible, which was a sealed Bible, and the unsealed Bible that was in it. But it couldn't be unsealed until the outer one blew, right? Put enough pressure when it exploded 500 years ago, and the explosion put so much pressure on it, and we was the center of it. We're the bomb in the middle, center of it. Put so much pressure on us, right? Bam. Ignited, produced Suleiman, it produced 144,000, right? And Suleiman was able to ignite, give him enough, because he said the only way he could do it, but they had to produce him, ignite that, and boom. And now the angel is exploding. See? It's not going to take 500 years, right? It's exploding. It's so powerful, it's going to blow us away, right? In a short period of time. It's going to be going, America will not be around a year from now. Okay, let's move on. So, again, this is what they're trying to stop. See, you see, cyborg man, that's their so-called evolution. See, they're claiming that they're evolving. See, the whole idea, see, racism is the foundation of everything they're doing. And the foundation of racism is a thing called evolution. See, I'm trying to make clear for you, brothers. The science, see, they have to have some kind of science, a scientific basis, right? to justify racism. So, and you find a lot of these Negroes out here and these so-called black scholars, they embrace evolution, but they don't even know what the hell. That's how ignorant they are. Because the idea behind evolution is that we evolved from a lesser thing to a greater thing, which is impossible, right? Even in calculus, you can't do it. That's integration, you can't do it, right? They can't find any mathematical model that will cause that to happen. But they say, well, but see, they say go to archaeological evidence, which archaeological evidence does support that idea because they got it backwards. Because they don't see it coming from us anyway. That's another story. So the idea is that we start from the apes. Okay, the apes evolved to us, the black folks. See? And the apes are originally still apes because they stopped evolving. See? So we're human because we evolved to the next step. See? But then we kept evolving until we became white. So we're not evolving anymore because that's why we're not white. If we was evolving, we would have been white too. So if you was white, that means you evolved to the next level. You understand? That's the idea behind evolution. So you got the apes and then us. We're the missing link. They used to talk about the missing link a long time ago when I was a child. We don't talk about it now. We're the missing link between Caucasians and the ape. See? So the apes, remember, they're their descendants. Right? They're their ancestors. The apes are their ancestors. They say the apes are their ancestors, but what they do to apes, the way they do the ancestors, they put them in cages. They experiment with them and everything else, just like animals. See? That same thing will do to us, because we're not evolved anymore. See, because we don't 3/5 human, we're not evolved. See, because they say the apes are like 1/5 human, because the genes are pretty similar. See, when they tell you 3/5 human, they telling you animal, because they tell you, if they go and ask you, how about ape? They tell you ape is like about 2/5 human, because it got its DNA is about 2/5 of what human DNA is. You understand? So you got to look at this stuff, though, what they say it, because they say it, but they say it in our face, but we so stupid to understand. So that shows, like you could tell a dog, I'm gonna put you down. The dog is waving. That shows you, you know, he's a dog. He don't know anything. So they tell you to your face that you're an animal, that you're a fool, and you be wagging your yeah, and pat your head, get on TV and all that stuff, and you know, and they tell you to your face that you're a fool and you're an animal. They tell you, yeah, evolution, and you say, yeah, man, evolution. And you got these black folks evolution. They're telling you, yeah. That means you still an animal, fool. So by you saying, mouthing that, yeah, man, I believe in evolution, then you confirming, just like that dog confirming that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what the hell you're doing, you're an animal. Because you're telling the dog, I'm going to put you down, I'm going to kill you, whatever, and the dog just wagging his tail. That's why you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And that's sure these Negroes don't know what they're talking about because they embrace evolution. They embrace it. Talk to these so-called scholars and educated Negroes. Yeah, they believe in evolution. And evolution says, by definition, that they are not evolved anymore, they're animals. And the ones that realize that, that's why they're doing everything they can to get close and master, because they want to prove to master, no, we still evolving, we still evolving. That's when they marry, master, right, marry, master, children, everything, have their children, so they can still say that we still part of the evolutionary process. We ain't like those Negroes, so they're not evolving anymore. So we ain't got to worry about it. They're not evolving anymore. They show you they're not evolving, they're stupid. So now they say in the next evolution, right? Because now you got this mechanical stuff, right? Is the cyborg. That means you got a biological brain, but you got a mechanical body, electronic mechanical body. That's the next evolutionary stage. That's what they're saying. See? And that's what that fuels racism, because racism means that your race or your species are better than every other species. So now they're different species. See, just like, you know, dogs are different species than cats. So they're saying we evolved to a different species. See, so now they're evolving from white into cyborg and bringing in a mechanical world. See, where we're being cages if we hear it all. But understand, bro, says we under this is the greatest attack that we've been on. Attack started 50,000 years ago, and now it's reached its apex. It reaches really, it's crucial. I mean, it's right now, it's head to head, and our people are really. We're going to talk. Well, we talk about it now. We're talking about it right now. See, right now, okay. Take fire for instance. You got a furnace, right? and a chimney, and you got a fire going. Okay, he's the whole room. But the closer you get to it, the hotter it gets. See, it's an equation, 1 over r squared. The closer you get to it, the hotter it gets. There's the equation, right? So if you get close to it, you get really hot. If you stick your finger, you're gonna burn. But if you're on the side of the room, right, you just get warm. It's the same thing. So right now, the most wicked people on the planet Earth is right here in America. The devils in America are the most wicked on the planet. Their hearts are totally wicked, as even the Seal Bible tells you that. Totally wicked. Talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Totally wicked. But we pick up those vibes. That's why I was trying to explain to you in the second pillar of Islam, Salat. We pick up those vibes, and the heart, we pick it up, and then it translates into, it translates to the brain. Heart translates to the brain, and so therefore we pick all that up. You see. But the point is our heart's not firm enough to distinguish. So we think those are a lot of, see, we're so close to it. The closer you to it, the more effect it has on you. That's the point I'm trying to make. So since we're in the heart of it, it's affecting us more than, look at all this stuff that's going on. All this filth, all this stuff that's going on, Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. People don't know what gender they are. All this insanity. And it's affecting our people. And it's taking our people down because they don't even know who they are. It's taking family members, my family members down because if they didn't make us a lot, then they have no protection because they've hacked into our minds. They've hacked into our minds with their software. First, the software is the religion, Christianity. That's the software. They upload that on our minds, right? And then they've hacked in on top of that with all this evil suggestions that talking about what the Quran talking about, whispering of the slinking devil into the hearts of men. Did you read it? The wisdom slinking devil into the hearts of men. Our people are under severe attack, and they don't know it. And they ain't making slots. And even if they make it, if they stop making it, they ain't making enough, it'll snatch them back away because they just take their mind. They don't understand. They're doing all kinds of things they don't even know they want to do. I was talking to a family member not too long. He said why he was doing all crazy. He didn't understand why he was doing that stuff. He said it didn't make any sense, but he was doing it. He said it made sense amount of time. He looked back and said, I don't know why I was doing that stuff. Now he said he think he got a mental situation because some people think they got, what's the thing they come up with now? You're bipolar. Never heard no bipolar when I was a child. That means you can't control your mind. Our people are under mental attack. And then you got about some Scientology. That's even add to it. Because now you telling people, you're going to tell people, and like that supposed to solve your problem. You're telling people, so now you get them know how to come after you because now you're revealing your state of affairs to other people, how you're thinking, right? And the Quran tells you to keep your mouth shut. The Bible tells you too. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. They've hacked into our minds. They hacked into our minds of our people. And so they don't know who they are. It's worse than ever. So now they walk around talking about they transgender and they don't know what gender they are and whatever. It says Sodom and Gomorrah. It said it'd be so bad they would set up office right in the streets. It said judges would set their little course right in the street. It says it in there. It said when you walk by, right, they will grab you and you have to perform a act. One of their acts, you have to perform it to prove that you're not homophobic. That's how bad it would be. Because we're right in the middle of it. We're so close to it. So it's affecting us more than anybody else. You see how fast it's going. It wasn't like this 20 years ago. But now, like right now, you can't say nothing about it, whatever. They said, I want to get my foot in the door. No, they want to get the foot. I said, they won't stop there. So now you demand that you can't demand that you got to go along with it. They want to sue you and everything, And now you can't just be tolerant. You got to be for it. And people's minds are under severe attack. And that's why it's so important that we stand up and make those slides and keep on and keep talking, because that helps. Some of us, sometimes you think helping, but some of them, all you're doing is just keeping from, they wobbling, they still ain't getting it, but they still got enough to keep from falling off the tightrope. See, they're hanging by a thread, but at least because what you told them, right, kept them just falling off altogether. And that's gonna be like that till four winds blow. See, because they still under Yaqub's book, the sealed Bible, and then they right in the middle of the beast, because it said it would call him. That's why the angel called him a beast. Even the Quran calls it beast. So I was raised up from the earth. We know the earth represents the European country. A beast that will speak to you, a speaking beast. So a beast will have a beast heart. See, what it said there? It's Daniel. It said the lion that's talking about us, right? It said he had to pull the eagle wings off, which is American, Britain, and Gog and Magog, stand him up and give him a human heart, because he had a beast heart. They're giving us a beast heart. Our heart is beating like a beast because we don't have any protection. Because the angel is what protects us. You see? And it firms your heart up to protect you from all those wicked vibrations, wicked frequencies. But by you not doing it, now your heart is beating on their frequency, on their wavelength. So now you got a beast heart. That means you're thinking like a beast. Like these little young girls, they want to stab each other. How come all these black girls want to stab each other all of a sudden? I mean, even when I was growing up, I mean, it was tough. But young girls stabbing each other? I mean, that's a new one on me. And I grew up in Newark. I mean, those sisters was tough over there. They throw down. Your brother get out of hand. He said, man, they pull up this blouse. And they throw down, man. You understand? They whoop ass. And they wouldn't pull no knives and stabbing each other. Now, I know about other cities. I know in Newark, you understand, you didn't mess those sisters there, because they would throw down on your ass. You understand? They didn't play, be throwing all this kind of stuff that made put the hands up and ooh. And you were for ass whooping, but I witnessed a few of them. Brothers said, what the hell's going on here? They didn't mess them sisters too much. They didn't mess them at all. See? And they talking about stabbing them. See? They're taking our people's minds, and it's getting worse every day. Just listen to the news and everything. It's insane. Because they're giving us a beast heart. And that's why we got to get our people out of here. That's why Friar comes and says, we going to stay here? You wake up, you find someone in a shit farm and say, well, I want to stay here and try to clean up the farm. How you going to clean up shit? Get off the farm. Get away from it. We got to get away from here. What it says, Sodom and Gomorrah, they tell Abraham and Lot to stand there and clean it up. He said, get the hell out of there, fast, and don't look back, because you got to burn the whole damn thing down. And that's what's happening here in America right now. It's got to go. You can't clean it up. You can't clean up shit. But they tell you, oh, don't stay here. The preachers and everything, because they're part of it. Because they're demons. Remember, they're demons. And that's even worse for us. That's why we're plagued by demons. Because not only are we surrounded by these beasts, but we got demons in our families. So they right up on us. Some are sleeping right next to us. And if you ain't make slide, you have no protection from that. None whatsoever. You're going to go drink alcohol? Oh, I need to drink. See, that's the trick. You don't do it. You just cover it up. You still got the beast heart. Just cover it up. Don't get rid of it. We're talking a tightrope here. See, but they got a mind lock on us. They got a mind lock on us. Our mind's on fire. They got a mind lock on us. A mind lock. We're in illusion matrix. A belief matrix. We're all messed up. That's what the angel is here to clean up. That takes a powerful angel, right, to do it. See, it takes someone right? Like Suleiman, you understand, who has been making salats for over 30 years or 50 years. It takes that kind of firmness to stand tall, because otherwise they will snatch his mind away too. That's why Elijah had to be taken out of here. So if Rod in these 3.5 years said, that's enough, I'm out of here. That's what's going on, brothers and sisters. And look at your children. I look at my children, how I'm saying, I get pissed off. I really get angry. See? Because they ain't going to make salat. Because once they get your mind, you won't even think about making salat. You're going to resist making, because the whole mindset is not to do it. So you have to get them to do it before, you understand? As a child, you have to get them, so they already had defense before it's really totally bombarded. Because once they bombard it, then you can't give them to make salat, because the whole mindset is not to do stuff like that. It's crazy. Why you want to do it? You see? So to give them to do it is almost impossible. But that's their protection. But it doesn't make any sense to them, because they got a beast heart. It don't make sense to a beast to do that. It's like a, tiger chasing his tail. See? So the 5 pillars of Islam is your protection. And you can't play with it. You really got to do it. Because this is getting worse and worse and worse, right? I mean, if you ain't firm enough, then it still blow you over. Because it's getting worse and worse every day. Just go back 5 years. It wasn't this bad 5 years ago. Go back 10 years. It wasn't even, come on. They got us in a mind lock. Mind's on fire. Because we right in the middle. Sodom and Gomorrah, right in the middle of it. So close to it. 24/7 bombarded. Because that's the way they're thinking. They got a beast heart. And so that's affecting our hearts. Not to mention the media. That's another, you can turn that off. But you can't turn your heart off. You see? But you can firm it up. That's your protection. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See? They've hacked into our minds. Placed a virus in there. You need virus protection. That's your 5 pillars of Islam. If you ain't using them, believe me, before your mind be gone. You won't even realize you had anything to do with this. So, this is what they want to do. Watch this. See? They're going to blow all that away. Because they're getting ready to go to nuclear war now. You say, why would these crazy people talk about nuclear war? Why would they be talking about nuclear war? Nobody can win nuclear war. They're talking about actual nuclear war. The rest of the time, we going to nuclear war with America. America saying, yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. Let's have it. Let's get on. Let's go on with it. Let's get on with it. Let's have at it. Why? Because it blow away our biological. Because that thing there doesn't need a biological planet. It don't need it. They get rid of us, then they have control. Because it's a mechanical body. All you gotta do is protect the brain. It doesn't need to eat food and stuff. Chemicals, chemistry. They already make chemical food now. They make it more artificial. They got these 3D printers that's actually printing artificial meat and stuff. You understand what's going on, brothers and sisters? They want these biological creations, so they blow it away. That's why they want this war. It's not going to happen like they want it. That's why Farad is already prepared. He's already taken and he's fixed it. So when America pull that trigger, they're going to prove who blanks. That's why he's on all their military installations. How do they know what all their military installations are? They say all their military installations, right? The atomic and everything. They say these planes are all over them. Why? Why are they? Just take a look? No, because they're not going to be able to do this. This whole war is to destroy. They got enough weapons, not to destroy each other, but destroy the whole planet of surface 100 times. Why do you need to kill a person 20 times? You got enough to blow his head up, but you got enough to blow his head 1,000 times. At that point, because that would not this would bring in their world. They destroy a biological world. They don't need it because they've got mechanical world. They want to bring this mechanical world, and they got to get rid of biological world, us and everybody else. Otherwise, it's insane to even think about having a nuclear war. America will be most vulnerable. But if they do this, they got this. If they perfected this, they probably wouldn't tell you. If they perfected this side because they're getting closer and closer to it, they may have already perfected it. Once they perfect, they don't need this biological world anymore. And they get rid of all us and everybody else. They're talking nuclear war, but understand why would they talk it? What doesn't make any sense? Because it would destroy them too, unless they've evolved to this level. They're perfected this or close to it, close enough to it. No way, the biological world, they don't need it. They won't need the biological world because they bring the mechanical world, computers, robots. They're already doing it. They're doing it every place. You've been to Walmart lately? They don't need people. You better wait, brother. Faraz on the case, and I'm on the case. Because you would be going, you would be smoke by next year if we wasn't on the case. Because you have no idea, like that's why a lot of them say, you have no idea what you're up against. You have no idea what you're up against. You have no idea. None. And I'm trying to tell you. They're talking nuclear war. Think about it. If they saw nuclear war, you're gone, brothers and sisters. You want something like a hypersonic, if they have nuclear war, you're gone. You will not survive it. You see what happened in Japan? And Japan was like taking and putting firecrackers, right, against a nuclear bomb because the bombs they have now are 1,000 times more powerful than dropped on Japan. They dropped 2 of them. One bomb could take out a whole state. There's no limit to how powerful a fusion bomb can be. They can make it as powerful as they want to make it. And they got thousands of them. They're talking about, and just the radiation. Forget about the blast. You will not survive it. No one will survive it. Unless they bring this in, because all they got to do is protect the brain, the biological, the metals and stuff. They're not worried about radiation, all that kind of stuff. And they can make any reality they want in their mind. With brain implants and everything else, so they can make this whole world look like a paradise, and it's nothing but just nothing. Wherever they want it to be. Brothers and sisters. Just ask yourself, why would they want a nuclear war? Why are they even talking about it? That's what we're talking about. They're saying it. Are you paying attention? Instead of what NFL and NBA? I've been putting it out there. Not just me. They're talking about nuclear war within months, even in weeks. The storm. Look at it. What I've been telling you. The storm. I said it would be ignited with the war with Iran. Now, Iran is one of the main things they tell them that there's a time frame. If they don't come back to JCPOA, they would have to go to war with them. Because now Iran said we're gonna reach up to 60%. They said if they do 60%, that means almost enough to make a nuclear bomb, atomic bomb. And so far as they said, we don't care what Biden do. We're gonna attack them anyway. They already attacked one of their sites. You understand? So, and that's going tonight. So they got time. If they can't get them back to JCPOA, they got to go to war with them. They already told them it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And they got a short period of time because if they're reaching at that level, they're right. How long before they had a bomb? So they got time. So that has to happen very soon. Now I said, what's that going to trigger? I said that's going to trigger a war in the Middle East, right? Which they were going to lose because Farah is going to be with them. Right? That's going to trigger destruction. They're going to be kicked out of the Middle East. That's going to trigger destruction of false Israel, which is going to cause all kinds of religious and social panic in America because now it's clear that we're the true seed of Abraham, and they weren't. So now you see all those tensions building up. I've been talking about this for 30 years. Now you see tensions building up, right, between Iran and America, getting hotter. Tensions building up between is false Israel and Iran. It's getting hotter and hotter by the day. The clouds rolling in. It's like with Noah's time. Noah said 80 some years, 800 some years he was building an ark. And then everybody said, hey man, it's clear, nothing. And all of a sudden, time to come, and then all of a sudden, they said, man, ain't nothing happening, ain't no rain, been 800 years. And all of a sudden, you see clouds start rolling in. What does that mean? Now you see right now, you see dark clouds, right? You see the wind blowing. See it getting hotter and hotter. Which day is going to happen? And then what's happening? Now, right, America's is inflammatory contact with Russia. Now Russia is threatening America with war in the Black Sea. I don't know if you're paying attention. They're not showing that much over here on the news, but it's true. So now you got tension between America and Russia. I've been talking about for years. Now, how do you think that's going to happen? Because they already threatened. They already said that they think they could be at war with America, a nuclear war within 60 days. That's what Russia's saying if America doesn't back down. But they're tired of it. China's saying the same thing. Get the hell out of Taiwan, get the hell out of our waters over there, the China Sea, or we going to war. See, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Hotter and hotter and hotter. North Korea, we're going to start, right? And then now we find out that Europe, America's ally, remember I said they're going to be fighting with them also. They saying they might even back up America if they go to war with Russia. They may say it out. Or they might even go on, because by Putin has already made overtures towards France to leave break up the NATO and join with Russia. That's already in progress. That's already going on right now. Everything I've been talking about, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. You see, it's getting hot. And America's been surrounded. And then, what's the other thing? What's the other thing? Where's the other thing? The demons. You see, it's getting hotter and hotter here in America. They thought last year was that George Floyd thing. They already tell you the cities and everything about to explode. These black folks, these demons out here, they're going crazy. And every 5 minutes, some black person getting killed or something by cops. They're getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So right in the middle, you see a race war building, not only because of the demons, they're going against daddy because they found they was tricked, deceived. That's a whole other story. But not only that, right? But you have a race war in America. I'm not going into details about it, but this Democratic Party is increasingly get a black face, and you got so-called Trump people, half the country, totally against the Democratic Party, and then you got, and it's getting more and more black face every day. Not only that, but now they recognize that the blacks, they ain't gonna make a distinction. That blacks are true seed Abraham, but it's only half, because half of them are demons. And because false Israel was going, and they got to get rid, they can't less. So you got an insurrection going on. You have a race war in America, while at the same time America is fighting all these other countries. That's the flames. And we out on the right. Anything, you know what a tinderbox is? That means like in a forest where all the leaves are so dry, that little spark would send it off. That's where you are right now. Any spark could set this whole thing off. Because it's tension. Never seen anything. You never seen anything like this in all your life. You never seen anything like this. I don't care how old you are. You never seen, even World War I and World War II, you never seen this hot and dry as it is right now. And black folks about to tear this country apart. It's going to be much worse than last year. I said, and it's going to go once the war starts, it's going to 5 months, they're going to go destroying this country while America's at war with everybody else, surrounded. See, they're surrounded by everybody else. You understand, brothers and sisters? So here's the angel key. Angel key. Right. So we're going to talk about that much. That's what it looks like. Right. Okay. Let's take a short break here, brothers and sisters. Short break. Okay, brothers and sisters, a little, I don't know why don't correct this. That's a little bad spelling there. It should be, I don't know what that is, quit. It should be quiet for the storm, spelled badly, but forgive me on that. Anyway, I've been talking about this, I'm going to say it, I'm going to go over it one more time, right? Many times necessary, because we're right at the door here. It talks about, these are the first 6 seals. So when they say it's quiet for a storm, you understand what that means. So the thing is, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. I'm only concerned about hearing, because come on, he hears and he saw something. So we go to the first seal, he hears something. Second seal, he hears something. Third seal, he hears something. Fourth seal, he hears something. But on the fifth seal, he doesn't hear anything. See, so go get your Bible, right? Book of Revelation, 6th chapter, and see on the fifth seal, he doesn't hear anything. And that's just before the 6th seal. Because 6th seal, right? The 6th seal is where the war starts. It says great shaking. They say the earthquake, that's a bad translation, it's great shaking. They figure shaking must be earthquake. No, it's war. So the 6th seal talks about the war. And you also get that chapter 11, that same hour of war. It says shaking, great shaking occurred. That's war, right? So just before the war, there's silence. There's silence. That's what it's talking about. That's what you gotta have to understand angel on your key to understand it. The unlocked Bible, not the locked Bible. So here it is right here. And we'll go through this briefly. Timeline to destruction. So it starts in 1948 with the false Israel coming to existence. That means that witness will go for 42 years. And notice the pattern there. 42 years, next 42 months. 24 years, 24 months. That's a nice little pattern. But that's, if you read chapter 11, that gives you, that's the timeline in the scripture of what's supposed to happen. Chapter 11, right? So for 42 years, it says they were prophesied. That would be from 1948 to 1990. That's 42 years. That's when they America, Gog and Magog, and false Israel went to the Middle East, and they took control of the Middle East. That's when they invaded the Middle East. So they became the powers of the Middle East, right? So that's what that's talking about. So after the 42 years, and the war was started in 1990, it was over in 1991, right? So from 1991, it says, okay, they were fallen, so that means they were under, now America and false Israel, they're the powers of the Middle East. So they moved up, and they pushed them down. Right? So they've been in that position for 24 years. See, for 24, right, from 1991 would put you at 2015. They've been in that position, right? So it says days 3.5. See, 3 days, half of what? Half of what's on top of that, 42 years. So half of the 42 years is 21 years, plus 3 is 24 years. That's where it comes from. So for 24 years, they've been in that situation, so 2015. What happened in 2015? 2015, right, they moved down. It says under the foot of the nations. So they be trampled under the foot of the nations, right? That means under UN control, because they're under the foot of the nations. So UN represents the nation. So they'll be under UN authority, under UN control, right, for 42 months, right? But that's the JCPOA, because now they was under the authority of the UN and for monitoring and everything else, because that was the agreement that was made. That if they go under the authority of the UN, the sanctions will be relieved and everything else. And that was last 42 months, right? So they've been in that position under the bottom. Then it says, after the 42 months, right, the agreement will be broken, and it was. So 42 months later, we put you at 2018, right, plus 6 months, which when Mr. Trump broke the agreement, and then it says that they will start moving up, right, and it will take 24 months, right, or 2 years to move. See, in this other, each one of these situations, that's how long they was in that position. But when they get down to this one at the bottom down here, right, when they get down to this one at the bottom down here, right here, when they get down to this one, right, when they get to this one, it's not how long they was in that position, it's how long it took them to get to that position. 2 years. But after days, after 3 days and a half, half of what? This is different from days 3.5. This is 3 days and a half. See, if you read King James Version, it's the same thing. No, it's two different things. And half of what? Half of 42 months above. So you're 22 months here, right? So 3 months plus half of 41 months is 24 months. So that'd be 2 years they'd be in this situation, which would bring them to 20,000, 20 and plus 6 months, 2020 plus 6 months, which is around November because they started the months from March, not January. The Romans did that. We don't go by that. So that's where they are right now. And said during this particular time, a plague would they would take and they would plague the earth or the European countries as often as they will. That's what happened. That was COVID happened between 2018 November and 2020 November. That's what it says it would happen, and that's what happened. That's what gives you confidence because these things happen exactly like they said. That gives you confidence that the rest of things will happen like they said because these did, right? So they're there. So now it says, and then they stood upon their feet. So it was 2 moves here. So that was the silence. Because there you go right here. It said, open the 7th seal. The silence occurred. That's where it says silence for half an hour, about a half an hour. An hour is a year. So about a half an hour would be somewhere between 5 and 7 months. So it'd be a period of silence before the storm. The lull before the storm. That's the silence just before the 6th seal. Because that here in chapter 11, right, it tells you when an hour, right, it tells you great shaking, the same the same verbiage, right, that they use, right, in the seal, great shaking. That means that's the war. So it'd be a silence before the war. And the silence almost over because the silence started around November 2020. So you count 5 to 7 months after that, and that means that silence over. That was a silence period for people who was on the fence or just looking, because a lot of people is paying attention, but they ain't revealing themselves yet. And when this war come out, they're gonna come out because they waiting, trying to see. See, they're trying to see because they see. The problem is I can understand some of it because you got Silas and Farrakhan and Rod, all this confusing people. So they trying to see, is he real? You know, is this real? Is this the real deal? Right? A lot of people. And like I said, 140,000 is hidden. So that's what you got right here. See. So that's the period. That's that silence, a mercy, right? Not for the demons and them. See, we don't care about them. We don't care what they do. We don't want them. They can come run. We don't want them. We're gonna show that in a minute. That's what it's talking about, brothers and sisters. That's where we are right now. The silence is about to be broken, and the storm is about to hit. Full blast. Storm that you've never seen before. Says be nothing like it. Be time of unprecedented trouble to be the day of the Lord. Says no time ever been like it, ever will ever be again. That's talking about, brothers and sisters. So here we go. The law before the storm. See here? Here is on the right here, right? On the right here, on the right here, right? That's the 6th seal. And it says, shaking occurred. See? Shaking occurred. Okay? And if you go here on the left, right behind me, use the same terminology. Occurred, shaking, great. See, the other one says shaking great occurred. This says occurred, shaking great. See? So it's the same thing. That's the war, right? It says in that hour, right? In that hour. So that's the hour. But the first half of it will be silence. And then war. We're talking about, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. So we're going to walk this quickly again. Same thing. Put the actual dates here. From 1948 to 1990, that's the 42 years. They're prophesizing. This is chapter 11. That's the timeline of chapter 11. And war occurred. The war was over in 1991. For 24 years, that would be 2015, right? They'll be in this position here. Okay. Then in 2015, what would happen? JCPOA agreement Obama made during this period of time. Obama made, so now they're on the foot of nations now. For 3.5 years, they would be there. See? That's not how long JCPOA is supposed to last. That's how long it will be there. Why? Because Mr. Trump broke the agreement in 2018. Mid-2018, just like it says. And then they start putting pressure because now they're putting sanctions and everything back on Iran and Syria. Putting sanctions and everything on. They're at war with them. So now they're moving up. They threaten America. They say, we're gonna enrich uranium. They're pushing, right? So they put more pressure. Now they said they're gonna enrich at 60%. Israel, as far as Israel getting all nervous, America's trying to put pressure on them. Say no, you can't do that. And they said, well, we're not going to let you stop the sanctions. America said, no, you got to stop. You got to stop doing this before we remove the sanctions. Iran is old Persia, right? They ain't stupid. They the ones that invented chess. They said, no, if you stop doing this and get rid of our uranium and everything else that we took all these years to build up because you broke this thing, and all of a sudden, then you keep the sanctions on. Now we're in a weaker position and it'll take us years to build back up again. Now it gives you more time to attack us. Said, no, you remove the sanctions first because you broke the agreement and then we'll go back to JCLP. So it's an impasse. And the angel tells us they're not going back to JCLP. It says they're going to war instead because war means they keep moving up. JCLP means they're going back down the foot of nations. And the angel says they're moving up. So that means they're going to go to war any day now. See, that's what's talking about right here. So that's where they are right now. They're putting pressure on America. See how they're putting pressure? They're covering Europe, but they're putting pressure on America, false Israel, and Britain. Because they're under a lot of pressure right now with Iran. They're trying to talking back to the JCLP. They said, we're not doing it unless you release sanctions. Iran said, we're going to release sanctions until you do it. And Iran said, well, it's non-starter because you can forget it. I don't care what you say. If you're not removing the sanctions, we're not doing anything. And America said, we're not going to do anything unless you stop enriching uranium first. So right there, so we see what the angel says. We say, we're going to see what happens because the angel tells us they're going to war. So we just see what happens. If they go back to JCLP, that means I got it wrong or the angel's wrong or something. So I just go ahead and retire. I've been talking about this over 30 years. So now we at it. What are we at here? Oops. What happened? Okay, so this is where we are right now. See? So they're covering. That's what it says. It said the spirit of the God came to them. Who is the God they're talking about here? The God is Satan. He's the God. He's a God. They call it, he's the God, right, of the European countries, right? And the spirit, the demon right there, the demons are also spirits. They're also spirits. They call it three evil spirits, they're also spirit. So that means the spirit of God that entered them. So that means the witnesses, that's what that position they're in right now. It took them 2 years to get in that position. Right? That's where they are right now. And that'll be once they get in that position, then it will be a period of silence. Once it took 2 years to get that position, and then it would take, it'd be that silence for about half an hour, be 6 to 7 months, right? Where they put pressure, right? They put pressure, the wind blowing against America, because that's what's talking about in chapters and in 6th seal. So that wind was blowing, and the wind was blowing so hard, right, that eventually blew the figs before they was ripe. Who the figs? False Israel. Even the Christians say false Israel represents the fig tree, and America, Gog and Magog are the figs. So it says that wind got so strong during this lull period that it blew them off the tree, right, before they were ready. They was on because America, Gog and Magog were preparing for war. But it said this would happen before they was able to do it. Because it said they're unripe, the figs weren't ripe yet. See? So Farah is going to make his move before they're ready. Because they're in position, because they want this war. They want this war. If America didn't want the war, they wouldn't have it. They want the war with China. They're saying it for all kinds of reasons. I said, maybe they just get rid of this biological, because if they go to nuclear war, that's what's going to happen. The other thing is that they'll try and, $22 trillion? If they defeat them in war, right, they won't owe them anything. Okay. There you go. They're at war now. This will happen any day now. They're at war. See, they're fighting. They're fighting now. They're battling. Great shaking. 10th city fell. Yeah, I'm not going into all that what that means. That's talking about God. That's chapter 18. God made God fell. They're at war right now. That's what's going to be in a few days. See, remember that 2 here I'm showing. That starting from March. So we're in April now. So March will be the first. April will be the second. So is this month? Next month? It's not. Only one knows for exactly the date is Farad. I don't know the exact date. I know the period of time because he just telling us. And just giving us, bringing us really close. He said he's close. But he said only Farad will know the exact date and time. And there it is. America, God made God, America fought, is beat. They're kicked out of the Middle East. False Israel can't be kicked out because they can't go anywhere. So they lay siege to them and take them. And that, you do not want to be a citizen of false Israel when they go down. Because those Palestinians, they got a long memory. 72 years of what they've been going through with these people. So there you go. And at the same time, when Suleiman would go return to NOI. See, the son of the messenger of the covenant. I mean, he was rejected the first time, but now he just returned to save their ass. See, to prepare them for the tribulation. See, that's what's happening. So now they got kicked out. These did it because war started. He has to go and prepare them because they about to be attacked. And then that's when America falls, gets in a war with Russia, and EU. EU's going to turn on them. They're going to turn on them. They're allies now. They're going to turn on them. So America's been at war with Russia and EU and China. Once they get kicked out, they're going to be at war with them. I'm not going over details, but they're going to be at war with them. Okay? And that's when, and at that point, when they go to war with them, they're going to attack. There's going to be an attack. They're going to attack the blacks. That means the demon blacks and also the saint blacks. So they're going to attack the NOI. Because NOI would, at that point, would be under control of Suleiman. It won't be under Farrakhan's demons are going to be cast out. That's what we're talking about, Ancient of Days, he said. So they're going to attack it. See, one part of the reason is they're going to need these blacks to help them in their war, that was part of the strategy. They wanted it because they're going to throw them in the river. You need to understand throwing the river from Israel kind of view. That means throw them into war. That's one of the reasons, one of the ways to get rid of them. But they're going to resist. Anyway, then the 4 winds blow. These are 2 of the 4 winds, the first 2. See, who Suleiman calls down from Farad. When he calls, Farad's going to answer. See, that's the 2. So now America's at war and on fire. The wind's coming down. He's getting hit. He's getting hit. They're struggling over in Russia and Europe, over in Europe, Eastern Western Europe. They're fighting China and Korea, right? Because if Britain's at war with them, America's at war with them. So they both Gog and Magog. That's what's happening to them, right? And that's when the locust's gonna be released. Then these black folks gonna go cold crazy. The demons. That's the demon plague they talk about. That's going to tear this country apart for 5 months. But during that 5 months, Suleiman is going to be preparing, right, the NOI for tribulation. They're going to have to go to tribulation. They're the silver they talk about Malachi. Because they're not a seed of Abraham. They Levites. But they was loyal. They was loyal to Farad. They came over here, right? They was born. They went through the same what we went through, right? So they're grafted in. But they were supposed to, Elijah was a Levite. Elijah is a Levite. And it says what happened. The Levites are a priest tribe. There's a prayer bridge between Elijah and Suleiman. They're supposed to do. See, the messenger and the messenger of the covenant. But Lion, Aaron, Farrakhan, he had them build a mansion for himself. And so they failed. That's why I said son of perdition would make war with the saints. That's the why. And would overcome them for 42 years. 1977 to 2019, 42 years. Farrakhan's time is up. That plague came, his time was up. He got 2 feet in the grave anyway. So he's going to save the world. You better do it real quick. See? Because they about to throw dirt in his face. So that's what's happening. During his 5 months, he preparing them with the angel, right, to go to the tribulation period. At the same time, the demons, like the Christian blacks, are literally 10 country apart. 1,000 times worse than with George Floyd. It's going to be total insurrection, a race war in America. They're going to be tearing, and plus, you're going to have the evangelists, the rednecks, and everything else, Trump, they're all being fight with each other. It's going to be a race war in America like you've never seen, ever. That's what's going to be happening. But Nation of Islam is not going to be involved in that. They're going to be on defensive mode. They'll be organized in defensive mode, and they're going to be protecting themselves from this, staying out of it. See, I mean, they're going to be singed by it, right? While Suleiman prepared them, see, go to tribulation. And then Suleiman leaves, right? That's when he's delivered. That's when Farad might come deliver him. He says, what? He says, he delivers those who's in the books of life. That's the 140,000. Those in his Lamb's book of life, those delivered. But 2 is left behind. One everlasting life and one everlasting shame and department. Who's everlasting life? That means they got to go to tribulation because they're everlasting life. That means they're going to get something good happen to them. They got to go to tribulation to get through it. That's what it tells you in chapter 9, right? Talking about the sealing. So they have to go to tribulation. So they're the ones, but the other ones, everlasting shame and department. That's the demons. That's the demons. See? They destroyed. They were left behind. So anybody left behind to go to tribulation. But those who endure to the end will be saved. Here you go. See? Suleiman's gone. 140,000 gone. Right? And it's here. So that means the new ark, why do you think they call it the new ark? That's another hint there. The new ark. See? Because it's the ark. It's the new ark. New ark. Like Newark, New Jersey, Newark. It's another hint there. That'll tell you what Suleiman will be born at. All the hints are there, bro, so you can't miss it. You can't miss it. Right, I call it the new ark. Because he's the one that's going to control the new ark. So here it is, the demons are cast down. This gives the story of Samson, where he's standing between, remember he got strength back, but didn't get his eyes back. See, he's a blind elephant. So he's standing between 2 pillars, America and Britain, Gog and Magog, and he's angry. He got strength back and his eyes back, and he brings him down. That means finally the demons, after that 5 months of insurrection and race war and everything going on, after that, right, they don't come together with all the other blacks, but we're not going to accept them. They're going to want to come, no, we're going to accept. So they don't go back, and they realize they don't have no place to go. Master betrayed them. We don't want them. They just bring it all down. While they bring America, destroy it, while China and India are attacking, while they're actually attacking America, they invade America. America's in total turmoil, insurrection. And America tries to pull the trigger with its nuclear weapons. They're not going to work. They're blanks because Farad's always defanged them. Their nuclear weapons will not work. See? I'm told their submarines will be sunk. They will not be able to use their nuclear weapons. They'll not get off one. And when they find out, it's going to be panic. Because now the enemies are closing in and they have, it's like, you know, the hyenas closing in on the lion. Then the lion finds out he don't have no claws and his teeth are gone. The hyenas are closing in, whole pack of them, and the lion stand here and he goes, Man, what happened to my claws? What happened to my teeth? All you guys are raw. And at that point, he ain't even run too much. He's probably whimpering because he knows it's about to happen. That would say all the men would be standing back in the alleyways holding their groins. That's the mighty men, like old women. That's what it says. They're going to be so afraid, so afraid, so scared. So now what you have done shall be done to you. And when they invade, they're going to take all the healthy ones that survive, the young healthy ones, right? They're going to take them into slavery worse. All these folks out here, they talk all this crap, right? And they between the age of 16, between age of 15 and 50, I guess, somewhere around there, maybe 40. They're going to total servitude worse than we ever went through. John will take them out. Then they're going to destroy the country, going to burn it down to the ground. Okay, brothers and sisters, hope you understand. That's it, brothers and sisters. This is what they want. They have a plan. Allah has a plan. Allah is the best of plans. Farad's on the case. He's not playing. Suleiman's on the case. He ain't playing. Suleiman's the judge. He ain't playing. He ain't hear no all this BS. No. Justice. You can't buy him off. When they try to buy Jesus off, try to buy Suleiman off in the desert. Hey, man, if you just bow down to me, I'll give you all this kingdom. The hell with you, man. I got your kingdoms. They're all mine anyway. You don't own nothing. You stole everything you got. Now it's time. The God of consequence on the scene. Now it's time to pay up. And pay you will. And pay, and pay, and pay, and pay, and pay. You was warned. Do not F with us. You weren't supposed to do what you did. Yeah, it was under your control, see? But it wasn't so much what you did, it's how you did it. See, if you just brought us over here and worked us hard, we're supposed to submit to you. But not with that. You didn't stop there. See, you ain't stopped there. You took everything from us. Miss Lord and dog shit. And some of us, you turned into dog shit because you fed us into dogs. And you feed us into dogs, what happened? You turn us into dog shit. That's what you did. Turn a lot of us into dog shit. Because you fed us to dogs. And a lot of when you saw old people when they were dying, they wasn't no good anymore, you chopped them up and fed them to dogs. We know what you did. When you couldn't give them to work no more, or they got sick, couldn't work no more, you chopped them up and fed them to your dogs and your pigs. We know what you did. Now it's time to pay. Except it wasn't so much what you did, because you was told, we submit to you. It was how you did it. How you did it. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.